this computer. So I'm so excited to do this interview. I'm joined today by Amber Reeson, who is the owner and founder of Neon Mall. Now, the reason why I'm so excited about this, because this is PR landing in your lap. So I'm going to share a story with you how Amber got featured on the Chris Evans Virgin Radio show. And I literally was listening to it and I could not quite believe it. And I wanted to interview Amber, really. And I'm so happy that she said, yes, I'd love to be interviewed, because I want to show you the impact that radio can have. We know that September we're talking all about how to get on radio. And Amber's going to share with us how she kind of accidentally got onto the Chris Evans show, but how she's gone on and how it's kind of really had a massive impact for a business. Amber, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
For joining us. Well, you didn't actually hear how it all started. People have told you because your phone was pinging. So do you want to tell them, or shall I, share how do you want to?
Well, so I woke up, I can remember the day, it was June the 13th. So I think it's about 3 months ago, isn't it? I woke up to my WhatsApp going crazy, and people saying, they're talking about you on Virgin Radio, get up. And it was 6:45, so I was about to get up anyway. And I put the radio on, and they were talking about one of my products in lots and lots of detail. So even though obviously I know what the product looked like, I felt the way they were describing it was, you could really visualize it. So
what happened was Rachel, who's the news editor, the news reporter, and she does the travel as well, was wearing this rainbow jumper, was it, or a jumper? Was it a rainbow jumper? Rainbow hoodie, because her handle used to be Rachel Rainbow or however. Yeah. And she was wearing this rainbow hoodie, and they were all saying, "Oh, you look really comfortable in that. It looks fantastic." And and she posted a picture of it on her Instagram, and everyone was going, "Oh my God, that's an amazing jumper." And I think and everyone was going, "Where did you get it from?" So she literally looked you up and copied you in Instagram, didn't she?
Yeah, I mean, I could tell by the way she was talking about me. She was obviously on my website, because she was kind of reading my about page. So,
right.
Information was coming from there.
Well, it almost went over. I love Chris Evans. I listen to him most mornings when I'm out walking, and it literally went through the whole of the show almost, because everybody, it started off as a flippant comment with Chris Evans saying, "Love your jumper, Rachel. This is where I got it from." Everyone was asking. Then they went onto the website to read it. Then they could see that your Instagram followers started to go up, and they were having this whole conversation before you'd even contacted them, I think, about how can we get her Instagram followers up. Is that right? Is that how it happened?
Yeah, I think I called them about 7, and I spoke to somebody in the office and said, "I want to talk to Chris. That's my business. That's my brand they're talking about." And he actually then said, "Oh, okay, well, we've got your details. We'll call you back if we can get you on the show." So I just thought that would be it, and I wouldn't hear from them. But they actually had then carried on talking, and I think they called me about 7:45, and I was live on air with Chris at about 8. But yeah, between 7 and 8, they had just been talking about it. And I think that what it was he was launching his merch for Carfest that day.
Yes.
What they were doing was the stories that they were putting up on Instagram were, which is best, Rachel's hoodie, my hoodie, or his hoodie, which was his Carfest merch. Yeah. And they did a poll, and I was winning every single poll. They had about 5 different polls, I think, and my hoodie was winning all over the polls. So I guess it just picked up this crazy traction, and everyone was going a bit.
Where were you at from? And obviously, so what? I'm almost too excited to do this interview, and I interview so many people, but because I saw it happen, and I can see how it's had such an impact on your business, and I love stories like this. How many Instagram followers did you have, and how was the business? Was it kind of small business? Is it just yourself? Where did you start from before this?
So at that point, I was on just over 8,000 followers. And it was just me really, but I'd have a girl come once a week to help me with, I do have a sort of small wholesale side to the business as well. So she'd come on a Tuesday and print my wholesale orders.
Yeah.
It was just me, happy as Larry. Neon Mall will be 3 years in November. So
brilliant.
Yeah, that's from that up. And it's been growing slowly, but nothing like after that day.
So what happened? So how did it go up, and where did it end up on?
when I was on the phone to him, I think it had gone up to about 9,000 at that point.
Yeah.
And I was so genuine with my phone call, and I had no thoughts about what it would have as an impact on my business. But as we were talking, I did suddenly think, oh, I wonder if he can help me get to 10,000. So I just said to him in the interview, oh, you know, if I can get to 10,000, I get the swipe up. And he obviously was like, well, what does that mean?
That's right.
And then he said, right, we're going to get you to 10,000 before 8 o'clock. And I think it was about 3 minutes to 8 at this point. And they told me to keep my phone away because, you know, you get the kind of interference sometimes.
Yes.
So I didn't have my phone, but he was counting. And in fact, I've got a little clip that I've saved. He's like, right, okay, right, there you are, 9,000, 9,100, 9,200. And he just counted it through. And my son was holding my phone. So I took the phone and I refreshed it and I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And that was it. At that moment, it went through to 10,000. So it's unbelievable that, you know, he literally was counting in seconds and there it was just climbing up. And
so what has it done for your business? Because obviously, I mean, where are you at Instagram followers now then? That's most...
I'm on 20,000 now.
Oh my gosh.
By the end of that day, I was on 14 and a half. And then it's carried on growing. And on that day, I mean, I think gosh, I can't even remember it all, but I think by the time I was talking to them on the radio, I'd had 350 orders that morning.
Oh my gosh, see, I was just going to say now.
Which is, as I said to him, that's at that point was nearly a year's worth of orders.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, as much as the excitement, I was thinking, because I hand print them all, so they're all hand printed in my studio.
Oh my God! So okay, so you basically had a year's worth of orders within literally
like before 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my gosh!
So by the end of that day, by kind of like, you know, by the time I managed to get to bed, I think I was on 750 orders, and that was a Thursday. And by the Saturday, it was on 1,000. Which is crazy when I look, because now obviously we've obviously done it all, but I think, wow, how?
Oh my God, see, I've seen this happen so many times and I've helped people do this, but I just knew that this was going to be such an amazing story and you so deserve it. Isn't it wonderful when people that work hard in their business get a lucky break? And that's exactly what it was, a fantastically lucky break. But you've done all your hard work, you know, your business, but it just shows you what I'm trying to show everyone, the power of radio.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So, okay, so have you managed to fulfill that?
Yeah. So like that day I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? So my girl that used to come and work once a week went full time straight away. So that's brilliant. And she's been incredible. I really couldn't have done it without her. I now have 2 people working for me. One is full time, one is kind of half time. But at that stage I had three or 4, and I had a couple of packers as well. Yeah. But we did it. I actually can't believe we did it. And you know, I work out of the studio in my house, so the kind of the logistics was funny of having hundreds and hundreds of hoodies delivered to my house. Just remembering it now as we're talking about it was crazy. But yeah, we did it, and I think our longest, we went out to about 4-week turnaround, which isn't bad considering it's normally about a week for things to turn around. And I just kept everybody in the loop.
Good.
I emailed everybody, and I think I probably had 2 or 3 people who not even like unhappy about the fact that it was going to take that long, but they decided to buy it that as a gift for someone, and they needed it by a certain point. So I had about 2 or 3 that I had to refund because they didn't want to wait that long.
Wow, amazing. It's just amazing. So have you had, how has it has a snowball effect for you? Have all the orders just slowed down now, or is it having an impact, the fact that you've got more Instagram followers? Have you been able to leverage it in any way, as you know, in terms of any other media coverage?
It has had a massive impact. I think I've worked out my business is about 4 to 5 times bigger than it was. That's my steady normal now. So I have got 2 people working for me.
Wow.
All the time. So my day-to-day has changed completely. Where I used to, you know, physically make the sweatshirts, I don't anymore because I don't have time. So in amongst all of this, I had to go VAT registered. I had to turn into a limited company. So all that happened in the first week. So there's just so much more that I have to do on a daily basis now.
It's unbelievable. And I would imagine probably one of the reasons, and it's a great community story, but I would imagine probably one of the reasons why your story hasn't got picked up is because the radio station is a potential rival.
Yeah.
I used to have this with Mums in Control with our magazine. People wouldn't feature us, but you need to almost just put the story behind it on how your business has kind of gone through the roof, you know, with a radio interview, you know, the impact that it's had and how now you're taking people on. It's a fantastic community story. But it's also a great national story as well, you know. So, you know, and I can help with that. We'll have a chat off after this interview on how I might be able to help you with that. But I think that's great, because what is comforting is that it wasn't just a quick burst and then your business is back to normal. You're saying it's grown the norm.
Because you just can't believe that would have that impact. I mean, sort of, if I think about it, I imagine it's just because of the amount of followers that I've grown. So obviously I'm reaching so many more people on a daily basis on my Instagram. So, you know, nearly every single person that puts an order through, if I get a message or an email, they'll say, oh, you know, we heard you on Chris Evans, and I get lots of lovely kind of, oh, I heard you, I was listening on that day, congratulations, I can't wait to own my hoodie. And, you know, the funny thing about that hoodie is that it's actually been on my website for 2 years. So it wasn't even like a brand new product. So to me, it felt really like, oh, this old thing, you know, I've done so many more things since then. So that's been quite funny, really.
Wow. I mean, what would you say to anyone that's considering doing radio or PR then?
Definitely do it. But again, I don't feel qualified to give that advice, because I don't feel like I had anything to do with what happened, really.
But most of us in this community are new to PR, you know, and are new to starting off with it. And what it just does, it's just a great real life story.
Definitely inspiring, isn't it? Yeah.
It really is inspiring. And it literally, you are how wonderfully lucky that it literally landed in your lap. Yeah. But it just shows you, if you had have sent your product maybe to Rachel to wear it as a free jumper, you know, and done that and have maybe helped yourself, you could see how potentially it would have increased the odds that you'd have got on radio by sending products out. And maybe it's a good way to think about how you want to do it now, whether you want to send samples out, because journalists, you know, like freebies, we all love freebies. And obviously it's having a budget when you're small as well. You've only got so much budget you can allocate towards marketing, isn't it? So it's a bit of catch-22. But it just shows you how one golden piece of publicity can absolutely transform your business.
Yeah, definitely.
Unbelievable. Well, thank you so much. And I know I'm just going to join the Facebook group, so if you've got any questions, I'll put this underneath and maybe she'll be able to answer them and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
She's very busy with building her empire now. But Amber, I'll have a chat to you afterwards. And guys, if you're watching this, it's just the accidental way to get onto radio, but hopefully it's inspired you on how it's skyrocketed her business. You know, all this month is all about how to get you radio ready. We've got the interview coming up with Janie Lee Grace on Radio 2. We've got the TalkSport producer and presenter that's coming on with us. So we're giving you all the hints and tips, and this is an amazing success story. Amber, thank you once again for your time.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks.